How you doing, YouTube? This is Joe. If you hear pounding going on, I'm at work and they're doing the roof upstairs. Just a quick little review on the SMY. I posted a video of me just kind of chiefing away, having fun on it. Figure I'll show you guys what's going on in here. I seen one other review and the guy's just like lighting shit on fire and wasn't very helpful, but we'll go through it and see what's going on. The case as it's put together, you can see SMY God, the little wolf in the moon right there. It's heavy, it's durable. There's three 18650 batteries that go in this beast. Full display, a bunch of power options. We'll go through some of the stuff. Some of the power options on here, there's really no reason to ever use it. There's like a workout mode. We'll show you guys that. I used it once and it's ridiculous. So 2 screws, unset that. The inside you got right here. They're not run parallel. You got one that's flipped around. Like I said, 3 Sony VTC5s is what I'm running in it. It's said that all your batteries should be the exact same for your correct wattage and everything to sync up right. So VTC anything, I think, 3 4s and 5s you can mix. One of these is a 4, which I'm solving that problem today. So you got the dates on them and stuff. Underneath this little black part is your firing mechanism and everything. You can take everything pretty much apart. Comes with a beauty ring for your 510 connection to go up. It's got your 510 regular, and then if you can see right there, it does have ego threading. So I don't know what the hell kind of tank you'd be putting on here that you need 180 watts for, but you have the option. So we'll screw that back on there. We'll load up the batteries. Again, I said I'm using VTC5s. One of them's a 4. They're pretty fully charged. I just put them back in here this morning. One full charge will last me all day long as far as battery life goes, and I'm vaping at a steady 80 to 100 watts. So make sure they're all lined up there. Got a nice little foam padding in the back there so that when your batteries are in there in sequence, they don't flip-flop around or anything. I wouldn't want to drop it, but I wouldn't have too many fears of dropping it other than a display case, for your settings and stuff, maybe cracking. The actual casing itself is aluminum. And then it's painted over with like a metal paint. They're real nice. Come in like 6 different shades: blues, reds, grays, blacks. So we'll screw this down on here. And we'll show you guys some of these settings. So right here I have a dark horse. Alright, it's built to 0.47, 0.46. It varies on and off. This is not a spring-loaded 510 connection, so if you have an adjustment on here and you want to line it up, cool, but do it kind of the same way you're doing an ohm meter. You don't want to push that pin in too far. I don't know what would happen if you do, but I just, little snug, that's it. I mean, just to where you can still move it either way, it's not tight. Then I bring the O-ring, the beauty ring, all the way up tight to it, so it holds it on there and you're not damaging any 510 connection. 5 clicks to turn on. If I could click it on. So there you go. See, it's turning on there. It's reading your ohms, everything like that. What am I at here? 0.46, I believe. 0.47. It starts off at 5 watts because I took the batteries out. The puff counter is on the bottom down there. You can see that it's all reset back to 0. There's what you're running, your volts, everything, your battery life. 3 clicks, you go into this mode, all right? And it gives you a bunch of different options here. So, overtime protection. If you click on that, you can set everything to where it'll shut off after so many pulls. 5 to 80 watts, whatever. You can set them 10 seconds. Now on 180 watts, I got it set to 5 seconds, but you're never going to take a 180 watt pull of 5 seconds. I haven't even made a build yet that can withstand past like 130, 140 without being unreasonably hot vaping on it. Exit out of there. You have your power off, all right? Your screen settings, which is how long it takes for your screen to shut off in minutes. You can, 1's the lowest, 99's probably the longest. Your vapor setting, right? There's manual mode and then there's auto mode. Manual mode is what everybody's used to. You hold down a button and you pull on it and there you go. Well, if you put it down in auto mode right there, you can set it for like a workout regimen. You're taking, X amount of timed pulls with an X amount of time pause for X amount of times. You know what I'm saying? So if you've got it set for 10 seconds, that's a 10-second vape. And then you've got it set for 5 seconds, that's a 5-second pause. And then you've got it set for 5 reps. It'll do 5 reps. So you hit this button once, it'll go 10 seconds by itself, 5 seconds off. 10 seconds by itself, 5 seconds off, and it'll do that for how many ever reps you have it set for. It's ridiculous. Don't know who the hell would use it. At any given time, you can press on the button and it interrupts the signal to where it'll shut off. So if you accidentally hit it and fire it, it's not just going to keep firing and there's no way to shut it off. So cool setting, but like I said, I don't understand why you'd ever use it. That's your vapor setting. You got your puff info, how many puffs you've taken, how many time, you know, how much time has gone by while you've been dragging, 4-second puffs, 5-second puffs. It'll count all that up, and you can reset your puffs there. When you take your batteries out too, that'll reset everything. And then you have your power setting, right? Normal mode and super mode. Normal mode will go from 5 to 80 watts, all right? And it'll push anything 0.25 or higher ohms, all right? So sub-ohmers you can still do. You can't go super sub-ohm. It will not fire past or below 0.25. Then you can put it in the super mode. Super mode, it gives you a little warning there. Tells you you're about ready to enter it. Click it again. Now you can go from 80 watts to 180 watts. All right, normal mode's 5 to 80. Super mode is 80 to 180. But in super mode, you can also access the lower ones. You just can't access the higher ones in normal. It'll push 0.35, right? Again, that's 0.35 or higher on super mode. So you can go up to 180 watts on 0.35. It will only push 0.25 or higher on 80 watts or below. All right, so just so you know, 0.25, 80 watts or below, 0.35, 180 watts and below. All right. Then you got your device. It gives you all your serial number, so you make sure you have a quality actual mod. It's not replicated, duplicated, screwed with. And then your exit button. All right, so that's reading 5 watts. So we'll go ahead and crank her up to 120 watts on a 0.47 ohm build. All right, I'm using 24 gauge A1 Canthal. You can see how huge and beefy these are, right? These are not small coils. You put these on a mech mod and you got to pull on it for a solid amount of time before it'll actually rotate over. So let's juice her up and see what she does.
Yes.
Again, this is 120 watts. I normally vape about 85. All right, 120 watts. Let's see what she does. Huge vapor production. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Crank her back down to 85 where I normally go at. Again, huge vapor production off of it. It beats my mech mod out of the water. Again, that's 85 watts. You can go higher. I've had it up to about 130 without it getting too bad. We'll give you one right there. Bam, you can see it. 130 watts. I got a fan going behind me, a heater going, so it's blowing the smoke around, or the vapor around, but it's good. It's still an extremely good vape too at that 130 watts. It's not unbearable. I'm not choking myself out. But I've also got a tank, a V2, Orchid V2 tank. See where that's at? Bam, right there. Got some crankberry filled up in it, the blue liquid. So we'll screw that on her. Now this is a dual coil I've got. It's a RBA, or RTA rather. Click it back off. It'll reset it to see exactly what you're putting on. So it's a 1.08 is what I'm running. We'll turn it down to about 50 watts. Just because the coils inside of this are so much smaller, they don't take as much wattage to heat them up to temperature. But even at 50 watts on a tank, mind you, It's awesome. You can go higher than that. It's not burn at all right there. Try her at 65 watts. A little bit hotter. Felt a little bit more of a burnt taste. 50 watts is kind of where I like it with this coil. Again, though, that's using 28 gauge A1 Canthal next to something thicker, so it doesn't take a lot of wattage to heat that up very well. I've seen people use actual regular atomized tanks, you know, with the screw-in pre-built coils and everything, like the iClear and stuff like that. It works phenomenal on that too. Just crank down your wattage to where it's a comfortable vape and have fun with it. The vapor production on this, not the tank one, but the Dark Horse that I have built at 0.47, all right? This is a 0.47 build. This is on a mech mod, all right? Now this build, you can see super teeny tiny micro nano coils. I guess they'd be considered micro, they're not quite nano. But 28 gauge Canthal again, in this thing, I mean, it comes nowhere near 0.47. So when you're building these, you're not going after the ohms being lower. You're just going after pretty much whatever you want to build, because you can crank that wattage up to wherever you want it. So again, you'll have to build your builds a little bit differently when you're screwing around with this. But this is a 0.16, so 4 times lower than that. And it's nowhere near the vape. You're getting stuff spouting up out of the drip tip at you. It could be the Stellar. I'm not a big fan of the Stellar RDA. It's good quality and all, but that's another review. But you're getting stuff spitting at you because it's burning so hot, it's boiling your liquid. Whereas that, nothing, even with the wide bore drip tip, you know, the chuff cap, it's fine. You don't get nothing splattered back. Again, that compared to something like this, set it back up to 85 watts. The density's higher, the flavor's better. Again, it might have a little bit to do with the RBA that I've got on there, but even the same, you know, differential, you know, it just doesn't work out the same. If I screw this onto this mech mod to show you the difference of what it's actually kicking out, if I could get this off here, I'd be a little bit better off. Again, not a big fan of this Stellar at all. It was a fluke buy. But screw this Dark Horse on here. Now remember, this is 0.47, all right? And you've seen what it was putting out on that. You know, now you can see what it's putting out on this and how much longer it takes to heat up. So we'll do a 3-second pull. 1, 2, 3. Look, you're just starting to see a little teeny tiny bit of vapor, and I was still holding on to that too. All right, now blow that and cool them coils off a little bit. Once these coils get hot, because they're so big, they take a while to cool down. But screw that back on this Dark Horse, or back on this God mod. All right, now watch this. Pulling on it. Hello. So you're not going for smaller, you know, ohm builds. You're going for whatever the hell you want to build and adjust your watt down to it. You know, you can go throw on a tank, or if you want, throw this on, or say your buddy's got some good juice in his tank, you know what I'm saying, but you're not getting a hit off of his little pen. Screw that ego threading on there and crank it to, you know, 25, 30 watts and watch him shit a brick because he didn't know a cloud that big could come out of his device. But again, just chucking the vapor, man. It's a phenomenal device. Is it overbearing the amount of power? Absolutely. Will you ever use that much power? Absolutely not. If you look on YouTube, people are going to 180 watts and 1 second pulls lighting their entire cotton wad on fire, completely drenched in fluid. So it's more than you're ever going to need for anything that you ever need it for, but at least you can say you got it. So this is Joe, Vape Safe, you know, and definitely try it out. A lot of regulations on it to where it's a safer device than MechMud, and in my eyes, a better device. Picked this up for $129. at my local vape shop, a brick and mortar place. I'm sure you can find them for about $100 online, but I support local, you know, keep the shops going in the area and fight the good fight. So again, man, awesome vape. Awesome vape. So you guys be safe, man. Remember, when you're building these things, don't go crazy on them, man. And if you got this, you'll never have to. See you guys later.